Rusame reader, Rusame, and today I will be reading to you from Sticky Notes and Trinkets by RainbowStar_772. Now, on to Chapter 17, Rule number 9. On a scale from 1 to 10, my friend, you're fucked. Russia smiled to himself, excited as he made his way to the orphanage. God, he loved Thursdays. He was calling Cuba while he made his way there. Currently, Cuba was off doing God knows what, but he was on speaker. So his friend was probably at home without easy access to his phone. So, what's Puerto Rico been doing? Is your brother a bastard as always? When is he not? I should have eaten him in the womb. But you didn't. And now, here we are having to deal with him. At least he hasn't done any unsavory things to anyone, right? Yeah, at least there's that. Well, I'm almost there. I'm going to have to go here in a second, but before I do... Cuba hummed, curious of what he had to say to him. Alexa, play Polka Dot Face by Weird Al. Before his friend could start yelling at him, he hung up and cackled. He hoped that Cuba was near one of the Alexas. If not, his joke was ruined. It was ruined, damn it. He calmed himself down before he entered the orphanage to hang out with the kids. He wasn't sure if they'd want to do anything with him today, but he was happy to go along with whatever they wanted. He smiled as he settled himself in, before the kids decided that they wanted to play tag with him. So he ended up playfully chasing around a bunch of kids, not tagging them, just so that they could enjoy the game, and give them a confidence boost. After a while, he nearly fell on his face, as he saw America, the tiny person he loved the voice of, come in. He lost his balance and fell over, falling directly onto his face, after stopping mid-run like a dumbass. God damn it, he was one whipped bastard, and he didn't even have a direct relationship with America. He was beyond saving. America was too cute. He'd never recover. The noise it made when he fell assumedly got America's attention, and he got to watch as a very spooked America slowly approached him. He had this sort of deer in headlights look while he was approaching. America quickly helped him up, and before Russia had the chance to say anything, the cutie was gone. He had bolted. He internally screamed out of frustration. He should have apologized to America, but no, his dumbass just got distracted by his cuteness. He was totally fucked. He laughed nervously, brushing himself off, and then letting the kids know that he wasn't done playing just because of a little fall. They ended up playing tag for a while longer, read until the kids were tired of running and wanted to play something else. He sat down and waited for the kids to decide what they wanted to do now, not paying any mind to the fact that a few of the younger ones were climbing all over him, and overall treating him like a playground. He was pleasantly surprised when one of them came to the conclusion of wanting to play Jenga. They were playing that until it was time for him to head home. So he bid the little ones goodbye and said goodnight before he started to head home. He was walking, which he didn't feel unsafe doing. He had a pocket knife, and he looked like a grown man. He was not a target. But America, the person who he couldn't help but want to sweep off their feet, was. America looked very young. He had a baby face and was really short. Around 5 foot, if you had to guess. The idea of America walking home alone bothered him to no end. But it was easy to rest the worry with the likelihood that America probably went home with a friend, or was picked up. There was no way that the cutie thought it was a good idea to walk home alone. America was in all advanced classes with him, so surely he knew not to walk, let alone walk alone. He shook his head and continued to walk home. He took out his phone and turned on his headphones, opting to listen to music while he walked. The first song to play was Tli Savasio Yi by EA7. He hummed a little, bobbing his head to the beat. He just continued walking as he listened to the music, humming happily as he got closer to home. Once he was home, he went up into his room and set on distracting himself for a while until he fell asleep. After he woke up, he took a shower, got dressed for the day, and then ate breakfast before starting his walk to school. He opted to listen to music while he did so. When he arrived, he started to settle himself near the door for his first class. While he waited, he overheard a conversation. Look, Greenland, I don't care if you believe me about my brother taking exotic dancing classes. The only way he knows how to get down from a pole is to pole dance. Why would I have told him to not come down? Because you wanted to be mean to your brother? Also, he's baby. You can't convince me that America knows how to pole dance. I don't care if you're his brother. You know what? Fuck you. I'll prove it to you. I'll send it a video. With what time? It's a game date, dumbass. This weekend, bitch! Russia stared at a wall, trying not to imagine what America doing those kinds of dances would look like. He did not need to think about it. He did not need to think about it. He did not need to think about it. Damn it, brain! He vigorously shook his head in an attempt to rid himself of the thought. Once he had managed to rid himself of those thoughts, he was brought back to another detail of the conversation. America had a sibling, one who was in a similar grade to them. That brought the question of who it was. Who was the brother? He didn't know if they were older or younger at this point. He could ask Cuba. This was something that his friend would know all about. Though he might want to wait, because he'd have to wait to make sure that Cuba wouldn't try to get revenge on him for that prank yet. He'd like to know the truth, thank you very much. He shook his head and checked the time before walking over to his class to get his stuff out of his locker. What he was not expecting to see on top of his chemistry book was candles. Specifically, rose-shaped candles. How the ever-living fuck was he meant to transport these? And who was giving him this shit? One was red, another was a peachy coral color, and the last one was almost a black wine-like color. He sighed a little as he got his book and awkwardly fumbled a way to safely carry the candles and the book without damaging the candles. They were pretty, damn it. And that is the end of this chapter. I hope you enjoyed. Anyway, I'd like to invite you to join the Discord, which is linked down in the description below. That being said, I hope you have a nice rest of your day, night, or whatever it is for you. Just enjoy your time. And I will see you tomorrow.